Hi parents, this is Miss Summers. I teach 7th grade at Loftus, and I'm here today to walk you through a site called Actively Learn. This is the student view, so this will be something similar to what your student will see when they log into their Actively Learn account. I do want to mention that they should be fairly familiar with this. They know how to work this site. This is just a few tips for how you can understand what you're looking at when you're making sure your student is actually completing their work at home. So as you can see, there are lots of different articles on this site. Some of them are from weeks past, so before we launched into this distance learning. But I do want to show you that these red banners on the articles indicate that I'm not finished with these assignments. So some of them I haven't even started, like this one. However, on this one, I have started it, but I haven't finished it. There are still 3 unanswered questions, as opposed to this article, which I have completed, and it does not have a banner. So that tells me that I've gone ahead and finished that one. So I'm going to click on this one. Let's do this one just to show you what it looks like. And it starts by giving your students some directions, kind of like a point of reference mindset for them to have while they're reading this article. So we're looking at if the author presented a convincing argument. So this is the first question. It's a poll, which means it's not graded. Do you know who Rosa Parks was? Yes. Submit. It tells you some of the other answers from the class as well. And then the cool thing about Actively Learn is it chunks the text for you. So what I mean by that is it will not allow a student to read the entire text initially. It gives them a stopping point. They have to think about what they've read so far and then answer a question before they move on. Also, over here in the margin, there are some additional comments that teachers can add to build on some of the knowledge. So, for example, here you can click this, and Miss Basor has added a little comment and a picture here for students to look at as well. Or she might offer another question for them to think about as they're reading a text. So we'll just go ahead and answer this question so that we can move on and see some of the rest of the article. Additionally, in the bottom right-hand corner, this little percentage will come up, and this shows you how much of the article you've read so far. So again, we see that the text is chunked. You can see that she's elaborated on what a seamstress is for those who are unfamiliar. We'll answer again, submit. And like this one encourages students to go to this site and watch this video if they're unfamiliar with Rosa Parks' influence on society. So this is what it will look like when they're actually answering the questions and looking at the article. I'm going to go back to the home page to show you 2 more features. This grades tab is where students will go to check their grades on various assignments. So if we click here, it will have a list of the assignments, the grade. Notice it's points earned so far, and then the question progress. So for example, on this one, it looks like I've made a 100, but actually I've only finished 25% of the article. So this 100 isn't quite accurate. So just make sure that you're looking at these 2 numbers in tandem with one another. And then the last thing I want to show you is this My Data tab. This breaks down your students' personalized data based on how they're performing on these reading passages. So it will show you what their grade average is for all of the assignments they've completed. You want it to be in this far end of the yellow or into the green. It will show you their reading pace, if it's too fast or if it's sufficient, and then their words per response. So there are some written response questions, and it is indicating that I have been answering too few. So we want it to be over here in the green. Then also it will show you these are our ELA standards, and if you are unfamiliar with what these mean, you can Google them or you can ask your language arts teacher. And you want the green dot to be the biggest dot. So I'm clearly struggling with this standard compared to this these 2. I've gotten 6 wrong and only 2 correct, so I need to continue working on this standard as well. Anyway, this is Actively Learn, and I hope this video was helpful. Thanks.